To show you the online functions in Sirius SoftStarter ES in TIA Portal today, I have started the simulation in Sirius Sim as Martin already presented. SoftStarter ES is used for configuration, commissioning and diagnostics of our SoftStarters 3RW5 and 3RW44 and makes it easy to manage different configurations. The free basic version is available to download from Sirius and is also linked at the topic page. Firstly, I would like to mention that the naming TIA Portal is often used as a synonym of Step 7. However, TIA Portal is the engineering framework which offers different functions depending on the software installed. After starting TIA Portal with default settings, the portal view is displayed, which offers guided project creation and access to the project view, e.g. for parameterization. Online diagnostics without a project is also possible from here. At this point, we can enter the project name, creator's name and an optional comment, and customize the storage path if required. Creating the project can take several seconds, depending on the computer performance. To create a SoftStarter parameterization, we select Configure a device and then Add new device. As my TIA Portal installation only contains SoftStarter ES, I am only offered SoftStarters. As the parameterization is independent of the terminal type, control supply voltage and rated operating voltage, these positions are marked with placeholder in the article number. The latest device firmware known in SoftStarter ES is pre-selected here as the version. A device name can also be assigned here and the device wizard can be selected. The device wizard helps us to select optional parameterization relevant components such as communication module or the HMI high feature included with the 3RW55. The device wizard also offers the option of pre-assigning application-specific settings to the three parameter sets available in the 3RW55. After adding the device, you switch from the portal view to the project view. The dialog for selection can also be opened here via Add New Device. Another very interesting option is to upload an already parameterized SoftStarter into a project. This can be used, for example, for further processing as a backup or generally for transferring as a project to other people such as the automation technician or technical support if required. Device names can be added simply by clicking on the name to get a better overview. In the device configuration or device view, we see the configuration previously created using the device wizard, consisting of the SoftStarter and the HMI. To adjust this configuration, components can either be dragged and dropped into the configuration from the catalog shown on the right, or selected by right-click via Change Device at Context menu. As the current Sirius Sim version 2.4 does not yet support HMI firmware version 3.3, I replace it with the version 3.2 in my device configuration. Otherwise, I would receive a corresponding error for different versions when loading the configuration into the SoftStarter or Sirius Sim. As a rule, a newer device behaves backwards compatible with an older configuration, so that no configuration adjustment is necessary in the event of a replacement. Let's now switch to the parameter editor and take a quick look at the SoftStarter parameters. Here we again find the three parameter sets which can be parameterized independently of each other, for example for different operating modes or changing applications. The actions of the inputs can be set there, for example, like preset starting the motor in clockwise rotation with parameter set 1. The application wizard offers a central dialog for setting application-specific parameters. When an application is selected, typical parameter values are suggested, which can be modified and applied for the selected parameter set. The HMI-specific parameters can be found in the HMI section. The language of the HMI can also be parameterized there. All parameters available in the parameter editor can also be set directly via the high-feature HMI on the soft starter. However, the faster and more convenient way is certainly Soft Starter ES. The configuration can now be loaded into the soft starter. In the first dialog, the interface via which our PC is connected to the soft starter is queried. In this case, I select Sirius SIM and the target device is already found. A consistency check is carried out automatically before loading. If the configuration is error-free, loading is possible. In the inspector window at the bottom center, we receive feedback if the loading process was successful or was completed with errors or warnings. Let's move on to the commissioning editor. I'll switch to the online view for this. The Sirius control panel is displayed on the right-hand side. The soft starter can be controlled via this after control authority of SoftStartES has been obtained using the button. The control panel also shows an overview of the operating state and the current motor current. A detailed view of the measured values is provided in the central dialog of the commissioning editor. To show the diagnostics in the next step, I activate an arrow in Sirius SIM. The fault is signaled immediately in the control panel and also in the diagnostics area of the commissioning editor. When the logbook view is refreshed, current and historical faults and messages are also displayed here. These can be exported as a CSV file using Export button. Furthermore, the commissioning editor with SoftStartES Professional offers additional views such as statistic data and maximum pointers. For example, to get an impression of the previous operation of the soft starter. At Functions Service Data, detailed operating data of the soft starter can be exported, which can be sent to technical support for evaluation in the event of unclear error states. I now deactivate the pending fault in Sirius SIM and acknowledge the fault on the soft starter. Before the reset of the fault state is possible, the pending start command at the active control station needs to be reset. By the way, by release of control, the control authority changes back to the previously active control station, for example device inputs or PLC. If a start command is present there, this leads to a motor start. You should be aware of this. Now a few words about the two possible trace variants, device trace and the engineering trace, that are possible with the high-feature soft starters. The device trace is a recording of up to 4 signals configured with a trigger event, which is saved in the soft starter or as a CSV file on the microSD in the HMI. And this can be read out and displayed with SoftStartES. This makes the device trace very helpful for sporadic faults For example, to record measured values at that time and thanks to the pre-trigger option shortly before the fault. As the device trace unfortunately does not yet work with Sirius SIM, I will now show you the engineering trace. First, select the desired values from the drop-down list and adjust the color of the associated curve if necessary. With Transfer Trace Configuration to Device, the trace editor connects online to the soft starter, reads out the configured values cyclically, and displays them as a curve at the time diagram. The recording can be stopped at any time and saved as a measurement in the project for later viewing. A tip on how to easily obtain an overview of the installed TIA Portal components and versions. An overview is displayed at Help Install Software. You can switch to the detail view via More information on the installed software and export this as CSV file. And if necessary, forward them to the technical support. Finally, the project itself should of course be saved. The TIA portal offers the option of archiving to save a permanent project backup or to pass it on. Here it is helpful to add the date and time to the archive name to make it easier to track the history of archive project status. But that's all for now. I hope I have been able to give you some good impressions and helpful tips with this short demo of Sirius SoftStarter ES. And thank you for your attention.